This is a quick and easy guide for busy executive moms, or really, if you are a new mom and you have symptoms of sciatica, this is a video that you probably want to watch. Now, as a mom and a mom of a newborn, you have, and if you're working for that matter, you have your high stress job, you have a newborn, and you have enough on your plate without having to throw in sciatica pain into that, right? So, it is sad, but most new moms, would experience sciatica in the postpartum or after childbirth time. So when you have this pain radiating down from your back into your bottom, down your legs, it can go all the way up to your toes, or maybe, depending on where your sciatica is, it can be right into your back of your thigh or leg. Now, this can be quite overwhelming because you've not had it before, or probably you had it before, but you didn't have it during pregnancy, or it has continued into your postpartum period. There can be a variety of scenarios here. It can still be overwhelming, even if you have had sciatica before, because there's just too much going on with you at the moment, with your newborn, with your own body. You do not want that sciatica to be bothering you. It can be very overwhelming. So I hope this video throws a bit of light on why you are getting postpartum sciatica. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their spinal, that is back and neck, and nerve pain despite low energy levels and brain fog. Now, these are symptoms that most new moms and moms have in the postpartum period. I had it because of my adrenal fatigue. It has a lot of symptoms, but these were my two main ones. Now, I help you by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain and adrenal fatigue journey. And I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So let's get into the topic for today, which is why do you get postpartum sciatica, and what exactly is happening in your body. And this is slightly different from if you would have sciatica without it being pregnancy related or postpartum related. So if you're looking for more information on generally on sciatica, you can go to my YouTube channel and have a look there. If you have postpartum sciatica, you can still look at those videos, and you can go to YouTube and just type my name, Swati Prakash Sciatica, and there will be videos that come up because I've done quite a few, and it gives you a lot of information. Why do you get it at night? How do you sit with it? How do you manage this condition, etc. All right, so sciatica, what exactly is this? Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you know all about it. So let me just give you a very brief introduction. Sciatica refers to pain that goes along your sciatic nerve. So the sciatic or the sciatic nerve is one of the longest and thickest nerves in your body. Now, the fact that it is quite long and it is quite thick, there are more chances of irritation or compression of this nerve. And when sciatica it is often associated with pregnancy because the growing uterus can compress the sciatic nerve. Postpartum sciatica is also common, though of course you're not carrying your baby, but it can be common. After childbirth, there can be various factors that can trigger yours or make your sciatica worse. If you had it during pregnancy, it can make it very challenging to sit, stand, or even carry your baby without discomfort. So what happens? So firstly, during pregnancy, you have a lot of hormonal changes, ligamentous laxity. Now, it is not that you give birth to your child and you suddenly go back to your pre-pregnancy body, right? You still have all those hormones moving around in your body. Of course, they're changing after childbirth, but they take a bit of time to go back to what they were before pregnancy, right? So your body secretes this hormone called relaxin to loosen the ligaments to prepare you for childbirth, because you have expanding pelvis, and of course for delivery you need it to be a certain you don't want that pelvis to be in that position that it normally is. It expands, and this relaxin is very helpful for that, but it does not disappear immediately, as I said. And your ligaments can remain a bit lax, which can lead to instability or issues with the pelvis and your lower back. Now, when this creates an irritation or compression of your sciatic nerve, it will trigger that pain that can linger even after you've given birth, right? Now, another thing is muscle weakness and imbalance. Now, your pelvic floor and your core muscles go through a significant strain during pregnancy because, of course, you're carrying your baby, and whenever you are upright, even if you're sitting or standing, the gravity is pulling you down. And of course, your muscles are holding on to keep your pelvic floor muscles and your lower back muscles are holding on to keep that uterus in place, right? So now after delivery also, and during delivery, of course, they go through a lot of trauma, these muscles. After delivery, these muscles are weak, and sometimes they cannot provide that adequate support to your spine and pelvic area, especially to your lower back or lumbar spine. This weakness can lead to an imbalance in your posture or a poor posture, which can put extra strain on your lower back and potentially give rise to sciatica. It can pinch or irritate the sciatic nerve. Now, as I said, the posture, it can be a little bit of a poor posture that naturally happens because of the weakness in that lower back and core muscles, or the pelvic floor are a part of the core. So, because of the weakness in those muscles. Now, of course, you have to constantly bend, lift, and carry your newborn. It can lead to awkward postures and for example, when you're breastfeeding, when you're breastfeeding, you might be like keeping your baby in one position and leaning over, and you might be slouching at your lower back like this and feeding the baby. Of course, there are things that you can do, like use a feeding pillow, put the baby to your breast level rather than you bending down. But sometimes these things don't come at mind in mind when it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and you are like half asleep, right? And there's nobody around to help you. So at that time, sometimes those awkward postures, those slouch slump postures can lead to irritation of your sciatic nerve, and it can lead to symptoms of sciatica. Now, so these are like a couple of reasons why you get that sciatica. It seems very simplified, but sometimes these simple reasons can lead to bigger pains, right? And also, if you've had a C-section or a cesarean, um, you would have additional issues with your abdominal muscles because, of course, there's been like a major surgery in your abdominal area. It does not mean that your pelvic floor muscles are not okay, they haven't undergone the trauma of childbirth, but the rest of carrying the baby, working against gravity when you're sitting upright, all that I spoke about is also applicable if you've had a C-section. On top of that, you have this abdominal muscles that now are weaker because of the incision, etc. It can change the way you sit, stand, carry yourself, and you can get into a lot of compensatory postures or muscle imbalances. It can exaggerate your pre-existing sciatica or lead to symptoms of sciatica, low back, etc. Now, if you are interested in more details on this topic, you can have a look at the blog that I have written on it. And I will leave a link in the description of this video, which takes you to that blog. That blog also has a free guide for you, which talks about quick office stretches for nerve pain relief. I understand that some of you might not be back in the office, but what I realized is these are the stretches that you can, nerve stretches really, that you can do even if you're at home, at work, or you're working from home. So when I say nerve stretch, it is applicable to sciatica as well. So have a look at that guide. It'll break it down into bite-sized pieces and steps for you. Those who have used it have found it helpful. So have a look. And of course, there's more information about sciatica and back pain in that blog. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link to that blog is in my bio. If you cannot find it for any reason, do let me know and I'll send it across to you. Alrighty, I hope that was useful for you. And if you have any questions, any comments on this video, let me know. I'll be happy to help you out. I'll see you guys next time.